Dimension W, Episode 4, The Mystery Hidden in Lake Yasogami. Really like this one because I'm a huge sucker for anything horror-based, and they did a really cool job with this episode. It wasn't creepy, but just what they were able to do with it was super awesome because with it being, with Dimension W, it's literally an alternate dimension that can almost bring to life any of the fake stuff that we can think of. And in this case, they did it through ghosts, and I thought that was very cool because it's like, alright, this hotel, the construction caused a ton of people to die. We got a couple of little glimpses, so I'm still not 100% sure how it happened, but they mentioned the construction, they mentioned bad weather in the beginning, which I'm assuming just means, particles and all this stuff in the air. But we also got glimpses that seemed like the dam broke at some point, because there were parts where we got to see things being like swamped and flooded with like just raging water. So I'm assuming at some point maybe the dam broke. Maybe that's why they built the second dam or something like that. But there are glimpses of the city when it was destroyed, and I loved how they did that because we got the glimpses with Kyoma, but then we just got like a full-on alternate dimension where Mira just gets like sucked into it, I guess because she was looking into, the vision of the city from the past, and then the Dimension W just like, freaks out and poof, she's stuck in this crazy alternate time where, people are like killing each other. When she gets to the lobby, it's like they're eating something and one guy's like pulling somebody else's heart out and all this other crazy crap. And this woman has like, just a real messed up arm, and you can see the bone like sticking out and stuff like that. So I really thought that was amazing. I was like, this is really cool. It's a crazy way to do sort of a ghost story. And they mentioned that they don't have masks when they finally figure out that I guess I'm still gonna call them ghosts. So when they find out that all the ghosts were in this guy's room and that's why he was being choked to death, it was interesting. It's like they don't have masks, so they can't actually hurt anyone, but they are still there. They can be seen from time to time. And I don't know if everyone can see them, because so far they only did it where Mira was the one seeing them. But I'm assuming if they wanted to be seen, then they could be seen. But I thought it was really cool. It's like, this is an awesome way to do a ghost story because it's almost like people coming back from the dead because of the dimension. But because they're still in this weird in-between, they still count as ghosts, but they're physical enough to, take people out, which I guess is kind of a typical ghost thing. They can still manage to kill you, even though for whatever reason they can never seem to touch you. But I thought that was really awesome. I was like, this is a cool way to do it. And then we basically got the answer in the first episode as to why certain people were targeted, because they were, basically related to those that destroyed the city and killed a bunch of people by accident. And then we have the ending, which kind of surprised me, and it almost seemed like the journalist knew that he was going to die, or maybe that was his plan, or that whoever this guy was at the end somehow came back to life as this journalist. So it's kind of one or the other. It was like either he planned on doing that the whole time, or he was actually like this crazy ghost and somehow he came back in someone else's body. And I'm assuming that's what it is, because I think that was meant to be the big reveal. It's like, oh, this is who I really am. But before I guess I died the second time, I don't know, I was this journalist that everybody knew. So I thought that was really cool. We actually get introduced to a new collector who is one of, I think, the last main character to be shown off in the opening, and it's the blonde girl with the sort of bat aesthetic. So that was pretty cool. I liked her robotic bats, because I thought that was just a part of the sort of horror creepy theme of the episode, of course. And then it turns out that those are like her robots and cameras and stuff, and I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. It just happened to fit in with the creepiness anyway. But we haven't gotten a lot out of her in this one, and because it kind of ends on a cliffhanger, and I'm assuming it'll be like a two-part thing, I'm sure we'll get to see a bit more of her in the next episode. But I thought that was really cool. We got to see Albert in this episode, where they have a really awesome fight scene because he knew that there were numbers there, and that's why all the madness is happening. So he and Kyoma just instantly get into a fight, and Kyoma kicks him out of a window, and they basically confirm what I figured, from the last episode, that Albert is, the other Beast of Grendel as well. And it was just crazy because it was like, alright, we've seen, Kyoma do some crazy stuff, and he's, jump super high and stuff like that. But he got kicked out of the third-story window, and he's like, all right, see you at 9, and then he lands and just has his hands in his pocket and just walks away, and I was like, I'm sorry, but what the fuck was that? Like, he just lands, and it was like nothing whatsoever to him, and it was just crazy. I was like, I didn't think it would be that simple. I figured maybe he'll do something to survive, or, he can grab something, or he's got, quick reflexes or whatever, but it was like, nope, he just lands on his feet, and then he walks away like it's nothing. So the Beasts of Grendel apparently were just like something crazy. So I don't know if we'll get an explanation or if it's just like these people just for whatever reason they're like crazy strong, have insane physical capabilities. But that was really crazy to see him just fall out the window and then he just landed on his feet. They're like fighting in sandals and stuff, and I don't know why he was dressed like that, as if he was in Hawaii or something, which I thought was really funny because he has like a lei on and everything, and he's got a Hawaiian shirt and he's got like shorts and sandals on, and I'm like, they're in like the almost the opposite. It's not like it was snowing or anything, but they're in like this creepy place surrounded by a lake and stuff that doesn't have a beach. It's just on a rock, and then you drive off down a bridge, and then you're on the road again. And it's just like, why is he dressed? I didn't think of that when I was actually watching it. I thought it for like a quick second because I was like, he looks really weird. But then they started fighting and all this other craziness happened. But it's like, why is he dressed that way, as if he's on the beach or something? But I guess at his vacation, so that's how he decided to dress. But I'm looking forward to this next one. I think it should be pretty cool. Um, with them having done this with Ghosts, it makes me wonder if they're gonna kind of expand the possibilities into some other crazy things where, the idea of, people's imagination kind of comes out through the numbers. If it's like maybe a city that happens to be built on top of, one of the numbers, like obviously it would have to be in a certain area, but maybe if it has a range of effect, which it seems to have. I mean, at this point, it seems to be fairly wide because it's either the number I'm assuming is somewhere in the hotel, but when they were first driving there, like we don't know exactly how far away they were, but I would assume they were pretty far away. And Mira saw that girl, like she saw her as a ghost, pretty far away from from when they actually got to the hotel. So just that one number seems to have a huge effect on the entire area. So they could definitely bring that up again, where maybe numbers affect the city and just people's imaginations literally start coming to life, and they can do another horror type of thing, or weird alien type stuff if they wanted to get like really silly with it. But I think it's actually a really cool concept, making it where technically ghosts could really exist. So I think it was a great way to kind of do the creepy ghost story, and I'm looking forward to the second half because we also have these three people who know that the ghosts don't show up, or the ghosts do show up if the girl is asleep, the girl with the gray hair. And I don't know, like they say that she's the second owner and that she's the younger sister, or I think it's the younger sister if I remember right. So I'm wondering exactly what her role is. I'm assuming she's connected to the people that died. Like she's like the girl with the purple hair that died was probably the older sister. But there were so many names thrown around, and I wasn't thinking about remembering their names to try to get connections. But they don't give away exactly who the two people were that died. It's like, oh, these people are, and then it kind of cut to something else. So I'm assuming she's connected to them, that she's probably the younger sister of the girl with the purple hair, or she's related to the other guy that was involved in the experiment. But we have the three. I don't know if they're collectors or what. They just know that the ghosts basically show up when she's dreaming, which that, like I said, can kind of tie into another thing if they wanted to do that for a whole city. But they took her, they blow open the wall, because the one guy comes down on this crazy flying thing, which I did not expect at all, and he's just like blowing open the walls and stuff. I was like, I didn't think that was about to happen. I thought it'd just be maybe some guns and they'd fight a little, but he came down with like a flying cannon device. So that was pretty crazy. So I'm looking forward to seeing how that plays out, and we might get to see the girl with the bad aesthetic, the new girl, probably take them on. So that'll be how we get to see a little bit more out of her as a collector. So looking forward to that. Definitely enjoyed this one. The series is really good. I'm enjoying this one a lot, and I'm looking forward to seeing what they do with the whole crazy ghost thing, especially with Mira in another dimension. I'm assuming she is flat out in another dimension, unless her body is still inside of the bathroom. And, you know, with all the craziness, no one exactly has been able to go up and be like, hey, where's she at? So we might just find her in the bathroom and it's somehow in her mind. I mean, with her being a robot, it would be interesting if it was in her mind, because that would also kind of say a lot about her as a robot. But I'm looking forward to how they solve this problem. Definitely loving it so far because it's just a really cool concept and a very interesting way to do a ghost story where they can exist because they're basically in another dimension at this point. They're still dead, but it's like they know they're dead and stuff like that. I would assume they know they're dead because the woman did mention like, oh, my arm got cut up when he got caught on barbed wire and stuff. And based on how open her arm was, she would have died from that in real life. So I'm assuming she knows that she died that way and stuff like that. So looking forward to how they do it. Definitely want to know what you guys thought about this episode though. So please comment below. Let me know your favorite parts, your least favorite parts. And I want to know what you guys think the plan was for these ghosts. Like, why did they wait 10 years to attack? Why is it that the journalist is somehow somebody else? Like, how did he die? Did he take over someone else's body? Did he just do something else? I don't know what else it could have really been. But I want to know why you guys think they waited, you know, for the anniversary. Like, why wait 10 years, you know, just to attack? I mean, I know 10 years is like a big deal, but when you feel like someone killed you, you think you'd just attack them automatically once you kind of figured it out. But obviously it involves this girl as well, so I want to know your expectations and speculations for how you guys think, you know, the answers are going to be explained to us. So please comment below, let me know, and thanks for watching.